So what is this response entity class? Response entity basically used for to send response data to the client. Once the request is completed, whatever data response we are generating, that response will put into response entity and send to the client. In the response entity, what extra data we can send along with that our main data. Main data means in the controller, if you see example line number 40, we are sending the data as employee data. Apart from that employee data, what we can send? We can send multiple things along with the response. We can include some headers. Okay, we include some body part and also status. What is status message? This one, HTTP status. All these things we can send through this response entity. So if we don't have response entity, we can use response body annotation. So we can put some annotation here, response body. Okay, this annotation also we can use. What is the purpose? We can put return value into body part. Whatever data we are returning, example employee data, that will put into body part of the response and that will be sent back to the client. What the benefit of the response entity? With the response entity, we can send some more extra information like HTTP status code, headers information, those things we can send. Okay, that is a benefit, like a response entity combination of response body plus some extra data like a header data and status code. Okay, so we want to send some meaningful status code and some headers. Headers means what, some cookie information kind of things we can want to send. We can use the response entity class. Okay, so it is better nowadays, like most of the companies, every product is using the response entity only. This is simple class, not much explanation required. We'll go for next topic. So today I'm going to cover next topic. What is HTTP code? What is response codes? Or what are response codes? Okay, what are response codes? HTTP response codes. So by seeing the code, response code, we can observe, we can decide, or we can tell the status of request. What that means is succeed or failed. Okay, directly by seeing the response only, we can tell that the corresponding request is success or fail. What is simple example? If I send some, maybe what is the tool? I think everyone install Postman tool. Yesterday I told how to install also. Okay, just send one request. Okay, I'm sending this one. It's a delete one. I got a response. This could not found. Sorry. All that means connection error. That application is not in running set. Just run this application. Okay, it is running now. Just go to Postman and trigger request. It is saying the forward phone. I don't see complete message. What is the response I got? I don't see, only that status code. I can see, I can understand that there is something in the URL. Like that, there is some predefined response codes are there. Okay, every REST API application, REST API maybe frameworks will follow same response codes. These are fixed. That means if you use a .NET or Java, some Python, something else, whatever, you should follow same response code. 404 is not found. Okay, Spring 404 and .NET 404. Okay, Python 404 is not different. All are same. So if you see the 404, is like no matter what technologies, you should know status of the request. Okay, what that means? These status codes are fixed no matter what the technology. That's what I want to tell. And if you see some status codes, examples, how to see, you can search Google or you can just open this HTTP status class. Here you can find from 100 series. So in basically the response codes, are divided into 5 types. What are 5 types? 1 XXX, 1X series. Okay, 2X series, 3x series, 4x series. That's it. Okay. There are 5 types are divided: 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. So in 1x series, what are there? It is first one is 101. This 101 means continue. What is continue means? Just go to Google, just search that. See, from 100 to 500, all are there. Just open 100 or 101. Here 100. The client should be continue with the request. The interim response is used to inform the client the initial part of the request has been received. That means what? The portion of the request is already completed. Still, this is continuing the request. Okay, that's what I want to tell like the information. We can use the continue or 100 HTTP status code. Second one is 101. What is 101? Switching protocol. We want to switch some protocols like HTTP to different protocol. Okay, if we want to switch HTTP to different protocol, we can use the 101 protocol. This is what is this? Read this. The server understand that it is willing to comply the client's request that via upgraded message header. That means what? Based on the header, it will be switch the protocol for changing the application protocol being used for this. Okay, maybe to start from the HTTP, it will change to some different protocol or SCP like that. Just read this documentation. Okay, there are all HTTP source code mentioned here. Just go through one by one. All are not much important. I will cover what much is required to our SAP. So mainly we can see 200 is okay. What is that? Request is succeeded. That means request is completed. The return with the response. We got a response also. That is about 200. 200 is okay. The request is completed. Response also generated. Okay, that's a response we received. For that case, we can send the 200. What is 201? Request has been fulfilled. Result is new resource being created. The newly created resource can be referenced with the URI. Okay, if you are creating something new resource, we can use the 201. Okay, 202 accepted. What is that? The request has been accepted for the processing, but processing has been not completed. If just a request is received to the server, response is not generated. In that case, you can use the 202. What is 202? Accepted. So server accepted request, but response not generated. It will take some time maybe. Very little useful. We are triggering some REST API. The REST API taking long time. Okay, instead of waiting for response to the client will send 202. What that mean? Okay, request is started. Okay, server accepted, but actual response is not generated. Actual response we need to generate once the job is completed. Like that, we will go for all the series. Okay, just go. I will cover some important ones. 300 not much important. Multiple choice. What we'll see what is that. The request or resource correspond to any one of the set of the representation. Each it is one specific location and agent driven, but provided to show that user can be preferred representation. What is that in the story only? Unless it is head is request should be included in the entity containing the list of resources, characters, and location of the request. So I think multiple choice kind of operation we can use the 300. So what is the meaning of redirection means? Redirection means we are sending a request to server, again server sending that request to the different server. Example what? We are sending a request to Flipkart, again Flipkart redirected the request to HDFC Bank for the payment purpose. There are multiple requests raised, but from a client say only request, one request. But server say there are multiple requests. In that case, we can use the redirection mechanism. In that we have mainly 300 is okay, and 301 is 300 is multiple choice, 301 is moved permanently. Request resource has been assigned to new permanent URI. Okay, what that mean? That this request is completed. Okay, and remaining the portion of the request will be handed to the another request. That means what? One request is completed and second request automatically generated from the first request. In that case, you can use the 3.1. What is 3.2 found? What is found? Request resource resides temporarily under the different URI. Okay, whatever URL you requested, that is not available, but that is available with the different URL. If you want to show some information like that, you can use the 3.2. Okay, this series is not much important in terms of development level. It is multiple choice. Next one is 3.1. Found. 3.2 is found. Okay, let's go 400. These are somewhat important. This is a bad request. What is a bad request? Request could not be understood by the server. Okay, whatever data you are sending, that is not understood by the server. In that case, we can send the bad request. Example, we need to send email ID in the form of some format, but we are sending email ID not correct. Maybe mobile number should be length is 10, but we are sending only 5 numbers. Age should not be more than 100, but we are sending 200. That is not a proper request. In that case, we can tell 400 bad request. By seeing this response code only, the developer can understand what is the problem in the request. Okay, 401 unauthorized. What is unauthorized? We are accessing some resource. Okay, I am checking my account balance. Okay, I am checking my account balance URL. That URL is protected. Everyone is not allowed. If you want to access that URL, we should be authenticated first. Okay, authentication, authorization is security concept. Example, what is that? Maybe we can take on banking system. I can log into my banking system, right? I can show my balance, but I cannot show other person's balance. What that mean? I authenticate to my account, but I don't have access to do the other maybe different person balance. That is unauthorized. Okay. 402 payment required. Maybe it's like payment related. Not sure. Reserved for the future use. Original intention was that code might be used for the part of some detailed cash or payment micro payment scheme. This is somewhat payment level information. This is 404. It is very popular. What is 404? Whatever URL we are sending, that is not available in the server. What that mean? Whatever we are sending a request, that request corresponding URL endpoint is not available. That is the meaning of 404. Okay. What is 405? Method not allowed. What is method not allowed? Yesterday we tried. At server level, it is a post request, but we are sending a GET request from the client. In that case, it is a method not allowed. Okay. So what else we have? We will go for 500 series. In 500, this is a major one. Internal server error. What is internal server error? This error will get the request received a server, but server failed to process. There may be different errors internally, different problems. Finally, the server not able to process the request. That is a problem, internal server error. So this error means we got or we have some issues in the server level or code level, but not our client level. Okay. Like that, go through all these things. This I covered what are major important ones. Go to that 502. The server, while acting as a gateway or proxy, received an invalid response from the upstream server. It is acts in the attempt to fulfill the request. Okay, like a kind of like gateway, we can use that. This kind of status code. Gateway means whenever the one server forward request to another server. that time will any issues will face, will go for the 502 bad gateway. Okay, 502 bad gateway. Gateway timeout. What is timeout? The request is sent from the client, but client not giving response. After some time, it will throw exception. That cases, we can send this status code. By seeing this status code, we can understand that 504 gateway timeout. We send a request, but in the expected time, there is no response. Okay, these are somewhat major important ones. Bandwidth, network read, loop detector. These are not required. Insufficient storage. The method could not be performed. There is a resource on the resource because the server is unable to store the represented successfully. Yes. Okay. Okay, if we face any storage issues, maybe example, we are storing some file into server. That time there is no storage. Give this response back. Okay, I think it is clear. At least some of the status codes will go one by one. 101 is continue. Request is received. We will continue the request. Switching protocols, like one type of the protocol to another protocol will switch internally. 200 okay. Request is received and response are generated. 201 created. Request received. The request created some new resource server side. 202 accepted. That means what? Request received but response not generated. The 300 is not much important. Okay, go for 400 bad request. Okay, we are sending some wrong data to server. 401, you can see for unauthorized. Unauthorized means even we are valid customer to the application, we don't have access to corresponding URL. For example, I have one URL that can be give some response as some not accessible URL, not accessible data. What that means? We can see in the banking system, we have a manager, we have a clerk. Clerk has some capabilities and manager has some more access. Okay, if the manager URL try to access the clerk, what he will receive? He will get unauthorized. Okay, whatever privilege you have, with the privilege you cannot access this URL. That is 401. What is 404? Is simple, not found. That URL, whatever you are sending, the resource is not available. The endpoint is not available in the code. 405, method not allowed. What is method not allowed? Whatever request type you are sending, example get you are sending, but in the server side, there is no get with that URL. Another type is there. In that case, method not allowed. 500, internal server error. What that mean? On the server side, whenever we give a request, there is something bad happen that throws exception. Okay, bad gateway. This is for the gateway protocol. Gateway means we have like some kind of redirect mechanism. Okay, one server, front-end server will take a responsibility to hand over the request to another instance. That will be, in that case, any issue phase, it will throw the bad gateway. Timeout issue, you know that request taking more time to process, it will throw the 504. 507, insufficient storage. There is no storage at the server side. Okay, try to use at least few status codes. Okay, interview wise, maybe we may get some questions on the status code. They will not ask specifically the status code. What status codes you know? Okay, in your project, what status codes you used? Just tell me some status codes. You can directly tell 500, it is a internal server error. 200 is okay. 404 not found. 401 unauthorized. 405 method not allowed. These are very frequently used in the projects. Okay, frequently we face in the projects. Okay, just
internal server out of memory problem. When will it come? It's not
out of memory problem also. It is kind of 500 only. Also, one example. I am giving one request. Okay, example maybe get API. There is a get API. Okay, login verify. So I'm giving login verify. Here I'm doing something while for I'm writing a code for to show one example for the outer memory. This is unreachable code. Okay, fine. Okay. Now here what I'm doing, always just try to understand what I'm doing. I create a list object. In that I'm storing a data objects. I'm going through a loop. In the loop, I'm always creating new data object and adding into list. Okay. For every loop, I'm creating data objects and adding into list. Now start application. Any errors till now? No errors. Okay, no errors. Now start application. So whenever I give a request to this endpoint, what will happen? It will verify this username password. That is fine. After that, what I'm doing? I am doing a simple logic. Okay, I'm checking one condition. I equal 10. Okay, 10 is not more than 20. Okay, we can use this one. 10 is more than, sorry, 20 is more than 10. It's always true. This is always true. Always true means what? It keep execute the same logic, same loop. It will never come back to outside. And I'm trying to add one data object to the list. Okay. Maybe example, if a loop will run 20 times, 20 data objects will be stored into list. If a loop will run 1000 times, 1000 data objects will be stored into list. If a loop runs 1 lakh times, 1 lakh data objects will be stored into list. Okay. If the memory is not sufficient, my memory is not sufficient to store 1 lakh data objects, then it will throw the out of memory error.
Where is the memory? Where is the memory to store the objects? Where?
Memory.
Okay.
Objects where it will store? C memory. Okay, just trying to show that starting the application. Just run this login verify. Where is that? This is login verify.
Is there any capacity about the heap memory about the object, something like that?
By default, heap memories we can check. Okay, if we want to increase, there is option for that. There is -xmx or to increase heap memory. See, there is xmx. We can provide whenever application starting. That time we can tell my applications use the only 256 MB. So want to use 1 GB, just convert into 2 MBs into GB. Okay, GBs into MB, then use this option. Okay, there will be a chance using that in the place of M, you can use G also for GB representation. That we have to check. Anyway, we can use this option to increase our heap memory -xmx. Okay. Application started, give request and see the response here. It is request is sent. See here sending request, still response now generated. Something happening server side. Okay, that means what? Creating objects and putting into the list objects. After some time, definitely we'll see that out of memory error. We cannot exactly say at what time. Completed. Okay, fine. It is still running. Okay, I got a out of memory error. Why? Because what is the reason? I keep storing memory into. I keep storing Java data object into list. Okay, it keeps storing. After a certain point of time, there is no space to store more objects. It will throw the out of memory. Okay, memory already completed. Java heap space, there is no memory. You want to increase the heap memory? You can use some options -xmx that we have to check. Maybe run parameters. There is some run configuration. Here arguments we can use, I think, -xmx. -xmx. Copy this. Here in the class of 256, we can use 2560 or 9560, 9 MB. Sorry, 9 GB. Okay, run, apply, run. It will increase the heap memory and run the application again. Run again. In Eclipse, not much important. In production, how it will increase? We have to provide this option in a Java jar command. This one, Java -xmx, or somewhere we can use Java jar command also. Example. System is tracking. Okay, 1 second. Okay, my system not working because it is taking more memory here. The complete whatever memory is there, I'm allocated to Eclipse only to run this application. That's why it system getting stuck. Just wait for some time, it will throw out of memory error. After throwing out of memory error, we can see that here something problem happened at the server side. That is a 500. What is 510? What is 500? Internal server error. Something is bad happened at server side. Go and check logs, identify what is the issue. Is out of memory issue or something else. Okay. I given more memory, that's why it's still running. Definitely in some time it will throw error. Yes, we'll wait or we'll continue the next topic and we'll see the error later. Okay. Up to now, we covered REST API examples, how to define or how to create one simple REST API, what are different annotations, okay, how to access that in the application. We see that Postman tool. Instead of Postman tool, we can use some other application also. One Java application can call another Java application. Okay, instead of browser, one Java application we can call another Java application. That I will show. Next concept is how to connect database okay, how to connect database with Spring Boot. Okay, basically how to connect database without Spring Boot in normal like JDBC, we can use Hibernate, Spring JDBC, right? In Spring Boot, what are special? What are changes are there in database connection in Spring Boot? So while working with JDBC, we have some issues. Those issues will be resolved by Hibernate. While working with Hibernate, there are some issues, kind of boilerplate code. This will be resolved by the Spring JDBC or ORM module. Okay, this issue, whenever working with Spring JDBC or ORM module, there are some still issues identified. Those will be resolved by Spring Data JPA module. Okay, right now latest market is Spring Data JPA. So what is specialty in the Spring Data JPA? What is specialty in the Spring Data JPA? It is a project or module. It is a project or module in the Spring. It eliminates lot of boiler code problem. What is meaning of lot of? If you write 100 lines, in JDBC, in Hibernate, you have to write at least 70 lines. Okay. Welcome to Spring Spring JDBC or Spring ORM. We need to write at least 50 lines. Just I'm giving example. How much data, how much boilerplate code is eliminated. If it comes to Spring Data JPA, we need to write only one line. Maybe one line, 2, 3 lines, not much. Okay. This much lot of coding changes came into Spring Data JPA. In JDBC, we can write 100 lines. In Hibernate, we write 70 lines. Okay, maybe Spring MVC, we can write 40 to 50 lines. But in the Spring Boot Data JPA, we have only 1 or 3 lines. How this much change came? Okay, Spring Boot or Spring Data JPA module is introduced some interfaces. This tells, okay, this helpful to avoid duplicate or boilerplate code. Boilerplate code means repeated code. How it is? Just this module tells, this module says, just tell me what you want. Just tell me what you want. Okay. We have to tell to Spring Data JPA what you want in single line. Okay. What you want in single line. Okay. Then Spring Data JPA is responsible to do the implementation. Okay, what that means? So what you want, your plan, like you want to get complete data from database. You want to get complete data from database. How implement? In maybe Spring MVC, Spring ORM. We have to create a session factory, local session factory bin, data source, all this is required. Then after that, we have to open database, maybe Hibernate template. In the Hibernate template, we have to call a find all method. Okay, that find all method returns some data. That data you have to convert into list of data something. Okay, these things, all this logic you have to write. But in Spring Data JPA, just it will tell, if you want to get all data from the database side, all the rows from the table, just use the simple one word find all. This is responsible to create many things. What are many things? Local session factory bin, Hibernate template, data source object, getting connection, okay, writing a query, select all from table, okay, getting the data, again the data convert into list of employee objects. Okay, our complete logic will take care by internally. Only we have to write find all. This also already given by the Spring Data JPA. This also already given by the Spring Data JPA. Just you have to call this method. Still you want to customize your query. Example, find all means what? Select star from EMP. It will execute. That data converted to list of data. You want to write logic like that, only or select star from EMP where ID equal to 20. This customization you want to do. How to do the customization? Find by ID. Simple. Find by ID. Provide your ID here. It will get it will generate internally this query. See how much changes came. Okay. You want to do sorting. What is sorting? Select only name, comma, salary from EMP, order by salary. How to implement this in JPA? Find name, salary by not required. By means what? Where condition? Order by, then immediately order by shall. Order by simply provide here salary. Automatically it will generate this query. Okay, like this simple words we write. This internally taking care of multiple things. How it is possible? So Spring data JPA given. Spring data JPA given. Few interfaces like repository, JPA repository. There are some hierarchy also. Hierarchy somewhere written. 1 second. Let me copy that. JPA repository. This is hierarchy. This repository is already given by the Spring Boot or Spring Data JPA. Okay. What is the first one? Repository interface. Second one is CURD repository. CURD repository contains multiple methods. These are the methods. I will tell later this ones. I will tell later this ones. Next one is paging and sorting repository. What is paging and sorting? We want to get only page by page data. What is meaning of page by page? What is meaning of page by page? Just if I search anything in the Google, what it will do? It will give complete data in maybe some all the links in single page, or it will give some pagings. See here, if you want to go some more, it will give us some more links. See what it is saying? This is the first page. In the first page, these are the links for your search. I am asking status scores for the API. There are many responses. Okay, in that, this is the first page. I want to see second page, click on the second. Okay, third page, click on the third. If you want to get like this, data, we can use the paging and sorting repository. We can get corresponding page data. Okay, JPA repository for general interface to work with database objects, database mapping objects. So we'll see one by one. Repository interface. These are all interface only. This interface, it don't have any abstract methods. Okay, no methods in that. Interface contain what? Abstract methods. There are no methods in that. You go for CURD repository. CURD repository extend JPA repository. Okay. See what repository extend a JPA repository. In that there are multiple methods. In those, these are the few. These are the few. These are the few. Okay. And paging and sorting in the repository interface, that is extending CURD repository. What that means? Whatever the methods are there in CURD repository, already those will come to the paging and sorting repository. Apart from that, paging and sorting repository contains some more methods. What are those? Find all methods, but it is accepting what? Sorting as a argument or pageable as an argument. That I will tell later. To go for next one, JPA repository. JPA repository contains all these methods. All these abstract methods. Just we write abstract methods, but actual implementation will take care of the Spring Boot data JPA. Developer also we don't write, only Spring Boot data JPA will be take care of the corresponding abstract methods implementation. Okay, these are the different methods in the corresponding interfaces. This is clear up to now? we have a 3 repository interfaces: repository, CURD repository, paging and sort repository. Fourth one is a JPA repository. Total 4. In the repository interface, there is no methods, abstract methods. But in the CURD repository, we have a some methods. Paging and sort repository having some methods. JPA repository having some methods. But what is the relationship? Repository interface is a root one. In that, CURD repository extend JPA repository. What is the extend means? One interface can extend another interface. One interface cannot implement another interface. That already told in the CURD Java basics. Okay, because interface can only extend another interface. Okay, paging and sorting repository, it is an interface that extend CURD repository. That means whatever the methods are there in CURD repository, those will come to automatically paging and sorting repository. And also paging and sorting repository contain these 2 extra methods. Okay, the fourth one is JPA repository. JPA repository contain these methods. Apart from this method, all these parent methods will come to the JPA repository, because JPA repository extend a paging and sorting repository. This is a hierarchy. This is hierarchy. Just remember this. Very few times interviewer can ask these questions. Interface can extend. Sorry, repository interface can extend. See what repository. This can extend paging and sorting repository. This can extend JPA repository. Okay, JPA repository. Okay, this is hierarchy. Okay, don't forget this. Then we start using this. Want to use these interfaces? Okay, we are using more memory. That's why it's not. It is given a error till now. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, we saw that the memory is right. Apart from that, just see that I'm creating one application to use these repository interfaces. And basically, how we'll connect to database in Hibernate or in Spring? How will provide? We have to manually create session factory, manually create data source object. Okay, manually create transaction manager. All these things we manually create. But in Spring Boot, this is a very important question. That's why I'm covering here. Understand clearly how to connect Spring Boot application to database. Very important question. Just we have to provide connection properties in application dot properties file. Okay, connection details in application properties file. Then Spring Boot, when starting application, it automatically create data source session factory, JDB template or transaction manager. Okay, it's automatically create all these objects. If you create data source object automatically, we can get a database connection. Okay, what data we have to provide? What are the keys? Those keys I'm telling now. Just go to properties file. I already created one application for testing purpose. These are minimum properties we have to provide to get a database connection in the Spring Boot JPA. Okay, this is read one by one. Spring data source URL, Spring data source username, Spring data source password, Spring data source driver hyphen class hyphen name. What is driver class name? Com MySQL CJ JDBC driver is dialect. The dialect also there. Don't remember what is MySQL dialect. Anyone have idea? This is the MySQL dialect. Okay, these are the minimum properties we have to provide in a application providers file. Otherwise, it will not create a database connection. Before that, we have to add Spring Boot data JPA dependency in pom.xml file. What is the dependency? Spring Boot data JPA. Okay, these two steps we have to follow to communicate our database application to database. First one is this is the second one. This is the second one. Okay, this is very important question. Just remember this: how to connect our database from the Spring Boot application. These are the approaches. Okay, first we have to add a dependency in the POM XML file. Second one is we have to add a data source properties, database connection properties. Okay, now we'll start creating Spring Boot project which have database connection. Spring Boot REST DB app. Spring Boot REST DB app. Okay, fine. Next one is created Spring Web required to work with MEC, and it is JPA required. I'm using what is the next one? Dev tools. Why dev tools? Instead of restarting every time for every change, we can use dev tools. And I'm connected to MySQL database so use the MySQL driver also dependency. Then Lambok is a new one that I will tell. Okay, just go through one by one. Spring Web. Already we know that to create MS based application, we can use the Spring Web dependency as starter. MySQL for that to get a database connection. JPA for MySQL with a database connection. Dev tools for instead of restarting every time, we can use the dev tools. Lambok for I will tell Lambok what is the region I added here. So project created. Project is created. Okay. Then to get database connection to our application, what we have to do in the properties file, we have to add all the data. This anyway we selected in the creating time only. Second approach is second part is this one. Just add these things. Spring data source URL. Now Spring know where to go our database connection. On username, password, driver class name. Already you know that. Dialect also you know. So that now our application is ready for to create database connection. So by default this class is came. Now we'll create simple REST API first. EMP REST. Okay. In the EMP REST, how to make this class a REST class to access globally? What is the annotation? What is the annotation to access to make this class a REST API?
REST controller.
@REST controller. What is the difference between REST controller and REST controller? So in this URL, I want to get all the employee data. Get all, I'm taking URL name. Okay, I'm getting complete data from database. That's why I'm taking get all. Public, I'm taking void for now. Get all employees. Okay, it's fine. Then here we have to call the database layer. Instead of database layer, maybe directly instead of database layer, we'll call service layer. For service, we can create one class, EMP service class. You should not write the database logic directly in a control layer. You should write some service layer class. How to make this class a service annotation. Okay. Next one is write the same method here, or you can write our own method also. Then here we have to write an interface. I told we have three interfaces. Okay, repository, core repository, and paging and sorting repository, JPA repository. So JPA repository has all the methods. If you use JPA repository, whatever the methods are there in core repository, paging and sorting repository, automatically comes to the JPA repository. So we extend our interface with a JPA repository. How to create one interface here? In the package only, we will create simple interface. EMP repository. Okay, this interface is acting with a EMP repository. This interface action with a which repository? JPA repository. JPA repository. Why it is not coming? Okay. Okay. JPA repository taking, or any repository in those three taking two generic arguments. First type is from which table you are getting data. I'm getting the employee table. Okay. So employee table, how to map in Hibernate? We have to create a one folio class, one entity class. Okay. How to create? Take a class, employee class. This employee class, this is mapping with a one table in the database. What is table name? Table name is EMP or something. Okay, that has EMP, correct only, name equal to. Okay, that EMP has how many columns, how many rows? How to check? Go to MySQL database. Go to MySQL database and check our table is this or not. Okay, so I'm taking that StarTech a database name. So in the URL also provide StarTech. Okay, in the StarTech, what is the table name? I'm taking student is available. Huh? Okay, student is fine. We'll take student only. Table name is student. Private int. What is the variable name? SID. Private. There's a mapping that our column names to database. Our variable names to database. Column names. Private string name. Private SV. This is also int. Okay. Now SID primary key. That's why I'm putting as a ID column, ID annotation, so that to the print is a primary key. And here name is a variable name. Here S name is a column name. To map that column name exactly, we can use the column annotation. Yes, name. Okay, here variable name is column name is SV, but variable name is also same So we no need to give the column annotation here because our database column name and variable name is same. Okay, it is different only, then you go for the column annotation. Okay, our student is ready. Student, it is a integer. Even it is int type, we have to provide integer, the upper class. So interface is ready. It is a accessing database, right? We can write repository interface. Okay. Here mainly observe class level, controller, REST controller is a control layer, service is a service layer method, service layer class, repository is a database access layer classes. Okay, now call service layer method from here. How to call? We have to do the first object, create the object. In Spring Boot or Spring, we don't create the object, it automatically create. Automatically create means how it is? We have to do the auto varying. Private EMP service ES. On top of this, provide auto wait. What it will do? It automatically create the object for the EMP service and inject into here. From the EMP service, call get all EMPs. Okay, get all EMPs method. It should return a data from the database. All employees. All employees means list of employees or list of students. Students. Okay, list of students. Fine. So this is student. Will take student service class name. It will confuse some places employees, some place students. Student service. It is renamed. Okay, go to here. It is student service. Okay, fine. From the student service, call get EMP methods. Get EMP method returns some data. What data? We have to call some database method. I told find all method for the to retrieve complete data from the database side, from the particular table. So we'll call that method. How to call? Just inject this EMP repository object to service. This is interface, right? This is the interface. In the case of EMP, just change to student. This is our confusion. STU repository. With the STU repository dot find all. Why these methods are coming? These methods I did not write in the student repository. How it is coming? Find all methods are this many methods. Count, delete. Okay. Find all, find one plus method. How is this coming? Because my interface student repository extending JPA repository. In the JPA repository, all these methods are there. Again, JPA repository internally extending paging and sorting. So these methods also come. And paging and sorting repository extending CURD repository. So CURD repository have these many methods. That is the reason all these methods coming to our custom repository. So here at a down level, we write our custom repository. Our custom repository extends JPA repository so that all these methods will come to our repository. So with my custom repository is a student repository, I'm calling methods. What methods are there? Those will become. I'm calling find all. Find all return what? Find all return all the rows in all the data from the table in the form of the student. All data. This all data I'm returning back to the the corresponding student service. And the student service will call by who? Employee service. This will call okay. Here controller calling service calling DAO repository. All EMP is fine. Now I'm putting this data into response entity. New response entity. Okay, in that I'm sending data as a list of students. So I have to change this certain type of list of students. Okay, not here. First put the data here, all EMPs. Then set the status HTTP status is I'm putting as a dot. Okay, that means what? Okay, request received and response also completed. Okay, this I'm returning, so that whatever object is returning, that should be part of return type in the method. This is what? List of students. Okay, now I completed one endpoint, get all. If I call this endpoint, what will happen? I'm calling the service live method, get all EMPs, is internally calling a repository method. The repository method getting complete data from the table and return back to the service, return back to the controller, sending to the client by putting into response entity. Okay, this is the functionality of get all EMPs or get all API. Now I'm running this application. While running, I want to change the port number. How to change? Server dot port equal to 2024. Okay, server dot port equal to 2024. Why is error? So okay, no matter. Okay, now start application. This failed. Just check the reason for that. Cannot load driver, MYsql just service driver. What is the reason? The driver class may be wrong. Where I mentioned driver class in the input file. There is a properties file. MYsql JDBC. Capital E, no? Okay. Start again. This started. See that statements. Application starting with Java 17, that is fine. And Tamka started with the port number 2024. Okay, and Tamka version 9, internet manage. And it's starting. See here, this is new lens today. Hikari pool starting. What is Hikari pool? That is a database connection pool. What does that mean? Pool means what? List of connections. Okay, the creating a pool. That pool contains a list of database connections. After that, Hikari pool started processing persistence in unit info. That is nothing. ORM core version is 5.6. What is the Spring for Hibernate ORM module? And this is important. This is the dialect we are using to communicate to database. And we have this is what is JTA, Java Transaction Manager. These are transactions involved. Okay. Next one is JPA Open View. This is not sure. We'll go to next. Tamka is started 2024 is fine. It context path is nothing. You want to provide some context path. How to provide? Servlet dot context path equal to Spring or boot db app. Okay, boot db app. Just restart this. So in the student class, I created a variable, but there is no setters and getters. Without setters and getters, the Hibernate or JPA will not identify, will not create the object from the, we will not set the objects from the database. Okay, how to create setters and getters? We right click here, right click, source, override, or setters and getters, generate setters and getters. This approach we followed up to now, but today we use a special dependency, Lambok. Okay, while creating the project, I selected one simple dependency, Lambok, project Lambok. What is the purpose? For every Pojo class, we no need to provide or no need to generate setters and getters. Okay, tomorrow variable name is changed. What that mean? First I'll generate setters and getters. I'll show to you. Source, generate setters and getters. Select all, generate. Tomorrow I decided maybe this SID is not correct. We'll go for student name. Okay, student name. Sorry, not student ID. Okay, or else in the SP I'll go for student fee. STD fee. And I can write some column annotation to represent database column name SP. But our variables, whatever methods we generated, setters and getters, this got affected. Just by changing the variable name, this got affected. To avoid these kind of things, Project Lombok is provided simple feature. Don't write any setters, don't write any getters, don't write constructor, any constructor, no argument constructor or all argument constructor. Don't write anything, just provide one annotation, data. This data annotation represent this automatically generate setters and getters, constructor. Okay, all these things will manage internally. Okay, tomorrow even variable name will change, it will not affect. It automatically change the setters and getters. Okay, that is the purpose. Okay, to generate automatically setters and getters or constructors, we can use a Lombok dependency. Very simple. Very simple. Still now, on restarted, application restarted. Why to restart automatically? Because I use a dev tools. Then go to application, give a request, localhost colon 2024 23 / db boot db app one now. Channel context path. Okay, boot db app. / get all. If I send this request, it will go to the corresponding controller, emp rest. Okay, this will be renamed to that student rest later. It will call get all endpoints. Internally, this method will be executed, and it will call service line method. Internally, it will call DOI method. This final method will be executed. That will generate some query. Okay, that query will get all the data from the database. After getting all the data, it will hand over to the again service method. It hand over to the controller method. Controller is putting into responsibility. This responsibility will convert this object into one simple JSON. Automatically it will convert. Okay, how it will convert? It will follow some algorithm internally. That's no matter for now. We'll see the response. Click on this. We got some exception, null pointer exception. What is that? Student repository find all is null. What is the reason? Here, okay, I forgot the attribute annotation. So, a student repository, who will inject the object? First thing, it is an interface. Student repository is an interface. How it will create object? I told for interface, it will not create the object. Okay, we cannot create object for interface. Then how the Spring Boot data JPA create for this object and inject into this variable? How it will do? That is the logic here. Spring Boot JPA will create object for this interface implementer classes. Who will implement interface? Spring Boot data JPA internally create one class, dynamically create one class. That class will extend this repository, and for that class, object will be created. That object will inject to this variable. That is internally flow will happen. Okay, it is restarted. Again start the request. Again see error, could not accept the repository. Okay, what is the reason? Still same. Find all is null. Okay. Log something slowly. It's okay. Fine. What is error? Just observe. Invalid data access the source exception could not extract result set. Next exception is SQL grammar exception. JPA vendor, okay. Could not extract result set. Okay, by reason. Why is an exception here first? Could not extract result set. This state has better ones. I don't see error here, and I'm changing that. Okay, this unconfiguration. There is no exception set for this. Why it is giving error then? It started. What happened? 2024. Correct. Plus got exception. Okay, I got exception now. So read this. Okay, S dot unknown field S name. There is spelling mistake. Unknown field S name. Here I given SNAME. That is a problem. I change the code. It automatically restart application by using dev tools. Okay, it is restarted. Now go to Postman, give request. We got data. So complete data we got. This is the response. So I given Java object to the controller response entity, but finally I got a JSON response. What is the reason? Why it is happened? This is the data received. See here, from first onwards, this student ID name, student fee, student ID name SV 101, 102, 103 like that. I got it till 113. In the database sec, I got 113. Okay, complete data I want. Okay, now it is more clear to you how to implement a simple repository interface, how to get data. Now I want only particular ID data. I want only for particular 110 student ID data I want. How to get that? For that, write a one first write a one endpoint. What is that? Get by ID. I'll give input as ID. How to provide input ID? I want to pass input 110 as a value from the URL, from the request. How to pass? What are different approaches? Yesterday I told. How to pass the input to the controller. How many ways are there? How many ways? How to pass URL data?
Query param,
Query param.
request body,
Okay. Query param, request body, both are correct. One more is there. Request param, query param, and request body. Okay. Get std by ID. I'll provide input as a ID, student ID. That particular ID data only I want to get. How to get? Start find by ID. There are method already there. That's why I'm calling that. method already not there with my requirement. I have to create my own method. I got a student object by calling this method. What is the method name? Find by ID. What is find by ID? What it will do internally? It will convert a query, select a star from student where student ID equal to whatever student ID I'm providing. That query internally executed. So it is written back as optional student. What is optional class? Optional class already told Java 8 features. Just go through that. It is a wrapper around the object. It will be give one box to you. Okay, one box it will give. In that box, student ID, maybe student data is there or not. How it will check? Optional is like a kind of box. Okay, in that box, there may be a chance of data, there may be a chance of no data. Example, if you give input as a 110, it will go database, it will check 110 data is there, it will get this row. If you give input as a 200, there is no data, then what it will return? What? It will return. So it will return a optional object. In that optional, if you give valid input, the student object is there. If you give invalid input, the student object not there. How it will check data is there or not? There is a method on the optional class op dot is present. Really, data is there or not? If I whatever input data given student ID with the student ID, data is there or not? If it is there, then get data. How to get? Maybe I can use here return directly. Return op dot. Okay, you may not understand. I'm taking my student reference. Student yes equal to by default null. Okay. If the student is present, just give that yes equal to op dot get. Get means what? If object is there inside you, just return that student object to me. If it's not there, so okay, leave it. By default, it will consider as a null. If you want to give some dummy data, yes dot yes equal to new student. I'm creating student object, dummy student object. I'm returning back. Okay. This what is optional? Optional is a class. Okay, it is kind of box which is wrapper around the object. It will, if you want to check that object really there inside optional or not, we can use the is present method. If it is not there, we can use some dummy method. How to check is not there? You can use or else also. op dot or else. If object is not there, return a new student object. Okay, finally return that student. Stop this. Return yes. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to database, applying some query. Find, that means find by ID means what? Internally, the query will be run, select star from EMP or student, where student ID equal to whatever student ID I'm giving input. Okay. It will return one optional object. Optional what? Object undachu undapochu. So how we can check object is there or not? We can use the is present method. Is present method for to check object is there or not. It is present true means we'll get the object. Present false means we'll get some default value or else. If it's not there, else give me just different object, dummy object. Okay, this method will call from the service layer. Okay, so not service layer, REST API, the control layer. How to call student ID? So I told we can pass the input data by using query param or path param. Here I'm using the path param. SID. This SID how to take? What is annotation? How to read path variable data? How to read? Path variable key is SID int SID. Okay, int SID. So I'll provide this SID here, student ID. Based on this ID, it will get the data. Get student by ID. Okay. int SID. Why error? This will return only student object. See this student by ID getting a student object. Okay, I'm capturing the student. This student I'm putting into response entity, and that response sending back to the client. Just restart the application. What is URL name? Same, mostly same. In the previous request, we got all data. In this request, we need only particular ID data. Get student by ID. After that, path variable we have to give the student ID. I'm giving 1110. Okay. Here selected get type. Why get type? It is a get mapping. Okay. These two should match. If I send post request, what will happen? It will give what error it will give? It will give method not allowed. What is method not allowed code? What is method not allowed code? Check here. 405. So in the server side, application side, it is a get type, but I'm sending a post type. It should return some error that contain a method not allowed. 405. Okay. This is simple example. Just correct this. Send get type only. 200. Okay. That means request success. That means I got data. Okay. Particular ID. It got a data. So if I give the ID 200, there is no student ID 200. It will return some empty data. I got empty data. Otherwise, I can throw error also. I can throw my customer error also. How to throw that? In the service layer, get it instead of this, throw runtime exception, student not found with ID SID. Throw new. Okay, just reload this application. Just wait, it will auto reload. Okay, it is auto reloaded. Just go to that request, send again. Now I got an exception. Student is not found with a student ID. Okay, this is like not much readable format. Okay, this is not much readable format. We can customize this error message also. This we can customize with a some approach I will discuss later. Okay, still now we discuss only get the data. I want to save some data. I want to save new employee or new student in the database. I want to save new student in the database. How to save that? Just write a method public. So I'm taking byte for now. A student, finish student also. Okay, next save emp. Save means what? Creating a new employee data. Okay, how to send employee data? How to send employee data to server? This is large number of data, not a single line, not a single value. How to send this much data into server? Example, I want to create a new employee. I want to create a new employee. That employee should be look like this. Okay, I'm writing here. Okay, so that employee's ID is 113 or 115. Okay, employee, sorry, not employee, student. Student name is XYZ. Student fee is 2000. This data I want to send. How to send? In the REST API, we send everything into as a JSON or XML. So we are following the JSON approach. So convert this into JSON. How to this? This is a key. This is the value. Value is the same type. So key and value you separate with a comma. This is the key. There is a value again comma. Okay, SV is a key value 2000. After that, no comma because there is no key and value after the last one. This data you want to send. How to send this much data? If it is a single variable, if it is single, you can send a path param or query param. If it is a big data, large amount of data, you can send in a body part. How to send body part? I told yesterday, body part will not support directly in the get type. It will not support. Wait. Raw. JSON. It should not be support. So first thing is this one, not equal to this is a colon. Okay, in JSON, key and value separated with a colon. Okay, next one is, I think get type should not support. I will check again. We'll take a post always. Whenever we want to send some large amount of data, JSON data, we can send in a post type. What is the URL? URL is common. Up to here is common. After this, we need to design save EMP. URL I'm taking save EMP. This is the endpoint we have to design to store the data into database. I taken a one controller save EMP. What is the type I'm sending request? Post type, post mapping. What is the URL? Save EMP. Here data coming in a body part. How to read that body part, request body part data? You can use the one annotation. What is the annotation name? Remember that? Respond.
Pardon me, what is the question?
So what I'm saying, to read request body data, how to read the annotation? What is the annotation? Yesterday I told.
At the rate request body.
Request body. Clear? What data I will get? Student data. So I'm converting directly that JSON to student. The request body is responsible to read this data, this complete data, and also convert into student object. Automatically it will do. Okay. From here, I want to call that repository dot save EMP. Okay, save EMP written what? Student object is fine. Then go to save EMP, what it is there. So we have to call here repository. So in the JPA repository, there is one method. In JPA repository, there is one method. Save. It is save. This one. There is one method save. It will take S means what type? Okay, student object type, any type, not only student. It will take object, it will store it into database. That is the purpose of the save method. This is from the CURD repository. Anyway, we extended our custom repository from the JPA repository from the paging and sorting. Paging and sorting extending with the CURD repository. Anyway, this method will come to our custom repository. Okay, now call save method. Check. Okay, fine. I'm using here only. Here dot save method. The save method coming from where? Coming from the CURD repository, CURD repository. Then save the data. What data? Student data, whatever I received from the controller. It will save. And return type is, after saving whatever data we saved, that data will be written back. Just will write on try block here, a catch block. In try block, we'll save the data. If it is success, return employees or student saved student data saved successfully. Okay. If any exception we got while saving, we just print that exception. Immediately return student data not saved. Okay, the return type is string, not a student. Now this method we are calling from the service layer and repository layer. Here class the student. We got a string data. This string data we want to return back to the. We are sending into what response entity. Response entity. We directly can send this response as a string, or we can put into map to show as a key and value. Map dot of something is there, no? Map dot of. This is for to create map in shortcut way. I think this is Java 17 feature. Sorry, Java 9 feature. This map it return back. How to return? Create new response entity. Put this map object as the next parameter is a HTTP status dot okay. Okay, this value returning to the client response entity. Okay, that means what map internally contain. So response entity contain internally map object. String is a key inside map and string is a value. Okay, we finally complete that save EMP functionality. Let's test now. Right now database, what is the maximum value? 114. No, I am sending a 113, right? I'm sending 114. As a name as a XYZ, fee as a 20,000. Let's run this. We'll see it will work or not. Data stored successfully. We'll check in database it is stored or not. See the last value. It is stored. The XYZ not stored. Why? What is the reason? Something bad happened in terms of SV and Siva. Something happened. There is some issue, I think. Let's see what is the error. It is yes name SV. Yes name SV. But what is the variable name? What is variable name? It is name. Variable name is a name. Okay. Take this one. And student fee is a variable name. Okay. Now variable names are fixed. So it will bind to our Pojo class object. Student ID is there. Okay. And name is there. Variable name. And student fee is there. And by saving in the database, it will convert name to S name, STD fees to SV. While saving, there will be a JPA functionality. Now again try this. Instead of 114, give 115. The student data saved successfully and go database and try this. It is 115 is stored. Okay. Due to this variable issue, 114 not stored properly. And next time I'm trying with the same again. If I do same again, it is stored. Basically, it should not store. We did not implement a primary key functionality. We not implemented primary key, right? Okay. 115. Okay, it is updating same because like the primary key function not implemented in this table. Tomorrow I will show maybe what is primary key. If you enter duplicate ID, it will throw error or not, that we will check. Okay. Okay, this is about saving data into database. So can we try to update data? Update nothing, just take same one. Exactly same one. Instead of post mapping, you can use put or patch. You can use put or patch. What is put mapping? Put mapping for to update data, patch also update. Patch is for to update minor amount of data, 1 or 2 fields. Put is for to update any amount of data. Here URL is update EMP or update. Oh, EMP fine. Method name is update emp. Request body is same. This also will create new method for this in service layer also. This method name is update emp. So, but internally method is same. There is no update. Especially save method will work as a try for update. There is no update method in only save. So save method will work for to insert data to update also. What is the meaning of insert and update? We can write a one logic. Okay, the save method implemented like that. It will check the corresponding ID already exists. It will be updated. A corresponding ID not exists. It will be inserted. Like that, this update will be work. Okay, what is save method specialty? Save method in repository or JPA repository. So save method will be work as insert and update the data purpose. Update the data. If the primary key is already exist, then it update the data. If primary key not exist, primary key value, so whatever ID you are sending. Primary key value not exist, then insert data. Okay, what that mean? Maybe I'll create one simple primary key table. MySQL table with primary key. This is the primary key table I'm creating in the MySQL manually. Insert this table persons already exist. I'm taking student 1. I'm taking student 1 now. Okay, it is inserted. Student 1 is inserted, and now I'll point the code with a student 1. How to point? In the Pojo class, just change this. Okay, change this. And what are variable names? ID, capital ID, student ID. And second one is last name. And age, first name also there now. Okay, just repeat this. And age. Okay, this 4 I changed, and we have to use generator column. Generated value. Generated the dot identity, something is there. Generator value dot identity. Check 1 second. JPA with You'll use generated value is fine.
Strategy.
Strategy we can provide, that's what I'm thinking. Generated value with strategy చెప్పాను నేను గుర్తులే అసలు చెప్పినట్లు చెప్పానా?
చెప్పారు.
Okay. Okay, we can use here hibernate strategies. Okay, this one is fine. Generator value, it will use auto. What is auto? It will increment based on the last value. So last value is 1, it will increment next time 2. The last value is 3, next time 4. It will increment 1 value. Okay, that is generator type strategy auto. And remaining also I told identity, sequence, table. Okay, just we are using auto here. And ID value is already there. Now it will start. We'll start working on that. First, we'll set some data in the post method. See post. Okay. First, we'll insert some data. First, convert into JSON. First value is ID. ID is stored, no need to insert because this is auto-generated value. Next one is last name. Last name I'm giving as a first name, Chenchu, comma, age, I'm giving 18. Okay, this here fine. Now start sending this request. Now it should insert into error. Okay, comma, not required. Okay, should insert into student 1 table. Just check student 1 is there or not first. Sorry, the data is there or not first. We just created. There is no chance to have data. Okay, this no data. Now I insert this data. Save EMP. It will hit trigger. Save EMP endpoints. This one save EMP call. This service method. The service method will be call save method. So data will be saved successfully. Call this one. We got data not saved. We got some exception. See that exception? What is that? See that? What is the data? It got exception. Static hibernate sequence is not exist. Okay. Auto not required. You can use identity then. This auto is giving error. We'll go for some different generator class identity. Let's restart application again. It is restarted. Trigger request again. Data not saved. Again exception. No exception till now. Not saved. Not saved by no exception. What is the reason? First get data. Get all. Exception. The exception should be restart this application. Is started. Trigger request. First get all data. Nothing is there. But why it exception not showing here? Exception now. Student name first underscore name. Okay, first underscore name. Why taking underscore name? It's first name, right? First underscore name by taking. Just give me some time. Just I have to debug because I given first name. It is taking as a first underscore name. Let's try Google. SQL syntax exception string JPA. JPA. Let's try this. Just naming strategy may be changed. I'm not sure why giving error. Okay, empty I got. This time no error. Now save data. Now I'm giving last name Subha, first name Jenchu. Okay, then try with this data. Data not saved. Then not saved means what is error? Okay. Last name cannot be null. Last name cannot be null. Okay, I'm sending data, right? Just check what is the error. It is saying last name cannot be null. Here last name is a column name. But what is the corresponding column name in the Pozo class? It is okay, it is last name. Okay, fine. Why giving error? Just try to understand. You can easily debug. I am telling this JSON has to convert into what? This request will come to the corresponding controller. This is the controller. Here the input request body data converting to JSON object. Sorry, student object automatically converting. Automatically converting this. I given last name as a just here, but last name is not there in the student. This is just now I added. Previous it is a name. Last name is not there in the student. Okay, how it will map? How it will map? To convert JSON to object. In the JSON I given last name, but an object variable name is name. This cannot be mapped. That time it is giving the error. Okay, so that I'm converting this as a last name. This is a one fix. Otherwise, in the JSON I have to give a name. Okay. Now start application. Student not saved still. Last name. Last name given. Again trigger. Let's check what it is taking. Last name, first name is okay. Last name, first name is correct. It is not taking. Student data, okay, fine. Save and DMP. Share. Okay. Just try to debug what it is happening internally. Student proprietary taking student object. Student object contain this data. Student 1 ID is a primary key. Okay. Last name, first name is yes. I'm setting data, but it is not taking. That is the reason why it is not taking. Are you getting? I'm setting data of last name, but it is saying last name should not be null. Okay, could not statement. Now we have to debug. How to debug application? Just start how to debug application. This is the kind of issues we'll face in real time. This is exact situation. Okay, I don't know what data coming to controller. Maybe I have to write SOP statements or loggers. Instead of that, we'll go for debug the application. How to debug? Just put a one point here, debug points. That means what? Whenever I start application, it should stop here. The application control execution stop here. From here, it will go into here. Click on, give another set point here, stop point. Okay, so that we can verify. Now, how to start in debug mode? By running normal mode, you can use run as. Debug mode, debug as. Simple. Debug as Spring Boot application. So wherever we give a stop point, it will stop here. Whenever we give a request. Application is started. Okay, now give a request. It should be stop in a debug point mode. Okay. So debug point here. Here, what is that? Save MP. I forgot. Okay, save MP. Here. Now again give a request. Okay, fine. Same error. Should be stopped. Okay, this stopped. It asks in context. That is fine. Wherever I given a stop here, fine. It will stop here. It is waiting for your response. So execution is waiting here until you give some command. You should not go to outside. Okay, so that means what? Your request is executing, still executing. It is stopped here because you given a stopping point here. Now see what data it is given. Whatever data I sent data as this format: last name, first name, age. Okay, but it is converting into student object. It is giving some problem. What is that? Student is coming as a 0, last name null, first name null, again age 0. ID 0 is fine because it automatically said. Last name coming to null. What that mean? Whenever we are sending a request, that data it is not converting into Java object. Why it is not converting? Why it is not converting? Save MP. Okay. Why it is not converting? Previously worked fine, right? Same example. Student class contain ID, last name, first name, is all are correct. All are correct, but still not converting. I understood issue, so we can stop and we can write some logics. Okay, we can write some logic here. What we can write? First we'll print what is data coming. Okay, student is did not. We can provide some extra information, produces or consumes. No consumption. It is name, value. This name consumes. What? String. Consume string array, so we can provide some. Okay, application.json. Try this. I'm not sure why it's not working. Give request. Okay, it is saying not found. Why? It is value, I think. Here's a value. Start. So it's not saved. It is not saved. Fine. Last name not null. This coming still null only. What's the reason? Just restart the ID. I'm not sure the reason. It is restarted. Just compile the code once manually. Spring Boot rest. How to compile? Maven clean install build even compile. Is success. Right click. Maven update project. Now run the application. So fine. I'll check today what is the issue, and tomorrow we can connect. Okay, and we'll see the error, and I will continue for the next topic also. Okay, don't worry about it. I will check what is the reason not working.